Hey, this is Steve Shaw for acrylicpouring.com, and perhaps you've heard of these things called a canvas rug or a floor cloth. It's a big piece of canvas. I think they're really popular, I don't know, 50 years ago, but they're kind of making a comeback. And I had a friend who had an old canvas rug that was in his garage. He does lots of art shows, and he wanted something really nice and pretty to put down on the floor underneath his tent. So he asked me to help him do a pour painting on top of a large 6x9 canvas rug. I had never done one like that before, so this video is captures the afternoon that the two of us got together and did this huge pour painting. The video does not talk much about the preparation of the canvas itself, because his floor cloth was already made. We just poured on top of a painting that was there. But I did a little research, and if you Google making canvas rugs, you'll find some really cool how-tos, and it talks about going down to the local Lowe's or Home Depot, buying thick canvas and gessoing both sides twice or priming them. But it will give you all the smaller steps leading up to the pouring part. This video is really just going to kind of capture some of the unexpected challenges and the things that happened when we mixed our paint to pour for this really big floor cloth. So again, this video is more what to expect rather than a how-to if you decided to pour or decided to make a big pouring on a canvas rug or a floor cloth. Hope you enjoy. Thanks. Hello, this is Steve Shaw, and I'm here with my good friend Brian Brown.
Hello, everybody.
And Brian does a lot of art shows. He's a great artist and sells books and prints of his artwork, but he wants a huge mat to go in his tent when he goes to the art show. So he has an old mat here, and we're going to do what might just be the biggest pour in the history of the world.
There we go. www.dyker, DYKERBROWN.com.
Always the self-promoter.
The heart of the king.
Well done.
Shameless self-promotion.
We have bought 4 gallons of paint, a gray, which Brian calls purple, a yellow, a white, and a black. We have poured partial parts of that into 4 different buckets. The black we left just nice and thick and plain. The white we added some water and a little bit of WD-40 in place of silicone. The purple is probably the second, the thickest is the black, second thickest is the brown, is the gray, white is thin, and then the yellow, we added quite a bit of water and silicone or the WD-40 to that, so it'll float more on the surface hopefully. We have poured all of these into a 5-gallon bucket. There are probably at least 2 gallons of paint in there right now. And by using this piece of cardboard, we're gonna actually do a huge flip cup. So, put that on there, Brian. Walk out into the middle of this, what is this, probably a 8x10?
No, 6x9.
6x9. All right, so go ahead and flip it. And then you don't have to rush. Once you flip it over, we can just pull the cardboard out. Nice, and it's flowing already. And we'll pull it out. Nice. You can just throw, okay, yeah. You can see the colors coming out of there already nicely. We'd put down a big tarp on Brian's driveway to hopefully keep some of the paint off of the driveway. Here's what we have so far, and it's looking good already. Go ahead and flip that bucket up. Let's let this stuff flow.
I'm gonna go that way.
Nice, let's get this moving around. That is beautiful right there. Holy cow. Brian, we did well, we did good. All right, so from here, the trick is gonna be to get this paint slowly moving, oozing across this huge canvas. And if we have to, we can mix up another batch of paint and do a second one of these on here. But we're gonna see how far this flows. All right, I'm gonna pause and then we'll come back in just a moment and see where we're at. So earlier in the day, Brian had taped the edges of this floor mat, so it's gonna have a border on it. He's mixed up more paint and he's added some paint across this edge here, and now he's gonna lift up the canvas and let it flow down towards the other side. that looks awesome. And the way you're pouring that or stretching that out, Brian, that's probably going to be enough paint to do the whole thing.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm washed out colors here, but I got that kid.
Other thing we can do at the end is hit it with a torch, and that should hopefully make some cells pop through.
This is my thought here.
Oh, that's looking great. Give you some idea of the size of the scale of this thing. It's huge.
Drop some more paint in.
It's up to you if you want to. I think the thickness of that paint is enough that you could spread it out some more.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because if you get it really, really thick, when it dries, it's going to crack and make it more liable to peel off, I think. There you go. Nice.
Work?
Yeah, it totally worked. Now we're getting somewhere.
Huh?
So now we're getting somewhere. This looks good. All right. There we go. This is looking really good. All right, I'm going to hit the pause again and help Brian stretch this paint out so it covers the whole canvas. Wow, look how great that looks. And I'll get back to you in just a moment. All right. We have added a little bit more paint. We have lifted the canvas and stretched the paint, moved the paint all around. Brian is putting some final touches on it. He wanted to see what it would look like with some gold paint on there. And it's looking fantastic. I'm gonna try to get in here for some closer shots. Look at the great patterns and designs in this huge 6x9 mat. This is going to be phenomenal. Great patterns. Also, good idea to put the large plastic drop cloth on the driveway. One thing we did not anticipate was how slippery the tarp in the driveway would be when a 1/4 or 1/8 of an inch of paint was flowing off onto it over here. But here it is, guys. I think it looks fantastic. Brian, what do you think so far?
Awesome.
All right. Thanks for watching. And this is Steve Shaw, and we're looking at the final piece of Brian's floor mat. I think it turned out absolutely awesome. And one of the great things he did was, if you remember from the earlier part of the video, he taped off these edges with blue painter's tape. And then after we did the pour all through here, he came back and took off the blue painter's tape and then went back and touched it up a little bit with black and with the gold, and that really set this thing off. And I think that really does make it look fantastic. And almost a shame that people are going to be walking on it instead of it hanging on the wall, because it's just that pretty. So great job, Brian. I think this turned out great.
Thank you.